What's the hardest part of adopting a kid nobody else wanted? The first thing my son ever said to me was, "How much do I owe you for that?" He was 13, 6 homes in 6 years, and he showed up with a duffel bag, a winter coat 2 sizes too small, and a spiral notebook he wouldn't let anybody else carry. That first night I made chicken and rice. He ate all of it, said thank you twice, then took the notebook to the table and wrote something down. When I asked what he was writing, he closed it against his chest and said, "Just keeping track." The caseworker had warned me. Theo didn't sleep much. Theo asked permission for water. Theo wouldn't accept anything new. Not shoes, not a jacket, without asking what it cost first. He's polite to the point that it's unsettling, she said. Most of these kids act out. This one apologizes. For 3 weeks, he apologized for everything. For using hot water, for the sound the stairs made. When I bought him boots because his were splitting at the toe, he asked for the receipt. I said I'd thrown it out. He went quiet the rest of the night, and the next morning I found him behind the garage in November, mowing frozen ground with a mower from the shed. The notebook went everywhere. He slept with it. Twice I watched him check it was still in his backpack, the way people check a wallet. On a Sunday, he left it on the couch while he showered, and I broke a promise to myself and opened it. It was a ledger. Ruled columns drawn by hand with a straight edge. Date, item, cost, balance. September 14th, dinner, spaghetti, $2.75. Shampoo, use some, 40 cents. September 15th, bus fare, $1.50. It ran backward through the notebook for years. Winter coat, $58. Dentist, $340. A field trip he never went on. Listed anyway at 22, with a note. Asked, was told no. Writing it down in case. The balance climbed page after page. Thousands of dollars of childhood itemized in a kid's handwriting. Then I reached the pages from the Colby house. 11 months, the longest placement he'd ever had. Those pages had 2 extra columns, hours, worked off, and the numbers in them weren't Theo's handwriting. They were an adult's, heavier and slanted, in pen while his were in pencil. January 9th, broke a plate, $12, 4 hours, yard. January 22nd, second helping, $3, 1 hour, garage. February 3rd, refused chores, meal withheld, balance carried. And at the bottom of every single page, 2 signatures. Theo's, in careful cursive he had obviously practiced. And beneath it, in that same slanted pen, the name Ray Colby. He'd made the kid sign for it. 41 pages. He had countersigned everyone. I didn't say a word to Theo. I photographed every page that night, and then I did the one thing Ray Colby never considered anybody would do. I checked whether he was still licensed. He was. He had 2 boys in that house right then. It took me 9 weeks. I filed for Theo's full placement history, which I'm entitled to as his adoptive parent, and it came back with Colby's stipend reports attached, all signed in that same slanted hand. Then I pulled the county's foster licensing calendar, which is public. His biennial review was set for March 18th, and like every review in our county, it was open to the public. I signed up to speak. The room held about 40 people. Board members at a long table, caseworkers along the wall, 6 other foster families waiting their turn. Colby sat in the second row in a sport coat, loose, the way you sit when you've done this 4 times before. When they called my name, I said I wanted to enter a document into the record, and I read from it. Broke a plate, $12, 4 hours. Second helping, $3, 1 hour. Meal withheld, balance carried. Colby was on his feet before I finished. He said exactly what he'd said to Theo for 11 months, that the boy had a documented history of lying, that kids like that invent things for attention, that anybody could write anything in a notebook. I told him he was right. Anybody could. Then I asked the board to compare the signature at the bottom of page 31 to the one on his own stipend reports, already in their file. They voted before anyone left the building. His license was revoked that night, and a caseworker drove out before morning to move both boys. I never showed them the last page. Theo started it the week he came to me. Same ruled columns, same straight edge, same careful hand, date, item, cost. Under cost he'd written, asked 3 times, nobody would give me a number. And the balance column, the one he had filled in every night for 6 years, he left blank.